And now it will reset. Boom. Holy shit, I guessed it. So, when the stream starts, this window tells you like, oh, first second, second second, and so on. But it actually lies because it then resets, so yeah. I've never watched my own VOD, and I probably should, so I can figure out if I understand it correctly or not. Hello, Mood. Hello. So, first thing I want to do, I noticed that my 2 latest videos are not getting any views. Like, they're 10s out of 10s. And I think that's because people think that I'm streaming again. So I had multiple streams where I was configuring fish, right? And then I have videos on that same subject. I imagine a lot of people just think that I'm streaming again, which is not the case, for which reason I decided to use Tweemoji, so emoji from Twitter, for my stream thumbnails, and Google emojis as usual for my videos, to separate them even further. So, first thing I want to do is go to emojis and move everything with an extension. Well, hold up. First I make directory Google, and then I move everything with an extension to Google, and that should do exactly what yeah. So I moved all the Google emojis to the Google subdirectory, and then Tweemoji for streams. Cool. So let's commit that, I guess. Let's see the humongous git status. Okay. What about overall in tree? Is there any other changes? No, emojis only. Okay, so let's gamp this. Yeah, they're very similar, but still. Sometimes it's like very visible. I was just about to ask what is the lore behind the emojis. Oh, sometimes I have a more or less idea of what they all mean, but sometimes I just look through the emojis and I'm like, oh, that looks good, and I just pick that for close to no reason. So it really depends. So first of all, I have a specific function that searches for emojis in these directories, and if there are no emojis there of the one that I try to find, then it Googles it on the site that I used to download emojis. So I'll have to fix that. What's the commit? Kinda. Usually random, sometimes they have thought put into them. So create directory for emojis. From now on, stream thumbnails are going to use Tweemoji. Okay. That's a huge commit though. Kinda. Okay. Let's go back to emojis. So, the function, first of all, did you know that you can just straight up remove tabs? So now only the current file shows up here, along with the breadcrumbs. All the tabs are gone. I think, yeah. And you can enable them back. I find that very cool. VS Code is just crazy. So, where was I? Emoji search, paths emoji. This should work exactly how I think it should. So let's try it out. First of all, I'm not even sure. Hold up, how do I know if it has changes or not. I don't. I'll probably have to go back to using tabs then. Because I don't use, use toggle tab visibility. Boop. And they're gone. But basically, most people will probably use autosave, and that's reasonable enough, but I don't. There's a different option. So for save, so autosave on focus change is what I use instead of after delay, which I think is the default. So yeah, if my tabs are gone, I don't actually know if I changed the file, or rather if I still need to save it or not. While with tabs, I do know. Kinda annoying, actually. So let's try this out. No, not test. Okay, so let's try searching for something that I know for sure exists. Coffee, because I just used it. Okay, so it doesn't work. I often do as well, but I find that unfocus doesn't really give me any issues, so it's like fine. Okay, so in this case, what's up with loop files? I keep like forgetting. So after file pattern we have mode, and for mode we can do fr. That means for real and nothing else. So now coffee should work, and it does. Perfect. So now the emojis are searched in both directories, and if I have the wrong type of emoji, well, no worries, I can just use my usual Googler to search for that emoji. Okay, that sounds good. So fix that. So let's go and commit that. Oh, here we are. Okay, let's gamp this. Emoji search searches through both emoji dirs. There's now 2 subdirs for both Google emojis and Tweemoji. Okay, so that is fixed. But the next thing that I want to do is pop out chat. I find it weird that it starts out being like that by default, when I want something along the lines of this. Yeah, that's better. So let's grab the win title of it. So currently, how this works. When I press Alt-C, I use that hotkey to activate the browser. This window is also considered the browser. I want to disable that and have a different hotkey to enable chat specifically. And the one app I never want to open on stream is Telegram. So I have a hotkey Alt-T to open Telegram, but when I'm streaming, or rather when this window exists, then it will be min-maxed essentially. So that's my idea. Okay, it should be in browser. So accept. I don't remember what's the name of the exclude title, I guess. Okay, so static exclude title will be, and just speed this. Oh wow, it has some weird symbol at the end. That's interesting. But okay, I think the only thing that we really need is this, chat is pop out, and that should be already very much enough. So let's toggle another thing. I tried toggling a lot of different stuff yesterday, and that's how I discovered that you can actually hide tabs. So DQM this. Oh, that's how it works. Okay, so in that case, what if I DVQM slash? Yeah, it works like I think it does. That's cool. Okay, in that case, DVQ/L. Cool. Cool. So now that is the exclude title. Basically, usually the win title of the browser will be Edge and then the HKXA. But if it has this in it, then it's not considered the browser anymore. So when I exclude title is, why do I not use this? I guess because I used to have UIA here, but I no longer do, so let's change it. So this exclude title, and now in theory when I press Ctrl C, nope, no. What? Why? Exclude title, yes. So maybe it's something else. Maybe it's exception. Okay, so what's happening? First of all, we go to app, we min-max it, and that is exactly what we do. Okay, let's go to min-max this exception. Why is exclude title a thing if exception is also a thing? That's so stupid. Okay, let's see where it's used. Exception. So exception, that's so stupid. That's great. That is great. I guess I use exception everywhere. In that case, let's change exclude title to exception. Although I do realize that it's pretty stupid. Okay, so exception and exclude text will stay itself, essentially. Specify a map if you want an exclude title for one, some, or all of your win titles. Fair enough. Okay, so now, obviously, oh, okay, Jesus, okay, guys, never, my God. Never make something auto-run on reload, because this is what happens. Like, what? Like, how often do you recognize this fucking v2? Oh, so I use exclude title. Huh. Okay, I have a way to undo this thing with the mouse. Like, Jesus! My God! Do you work now? Good, you should. You change one thing and everything fucking complains. Instead of being like, oh, I guess, like, I'm gonna let them do their thing. Aren't you supposed to have this in front of exclude title there? No, the other, well, here, just no, just straight up no, because it's implied, because it's in the class. But I think you're talking about some other place that had, that didn't have it, and that is a static method. Yeah, here it is. So this is just a static method, so it doesn't need to be. And matter of fact, let's just exclude title. And since Yeah, it's a different thing. So let's grep exception. Not sure why it just decided by itself to capitalize itself, but thankfully it didn't. So, fuck, that's a lot. Oh, oh no, it is a lot. I thought, oh, it's not that much. No, it's that much. So now I'll hold off on reloading until I'm sure. I think it's a better idea to change all the exception into exclude title first. I need to see if I can do that in V1. Like, you mean classes? You can, but I just know that they're worse. I can't really explain the differences because I've never used the class in V1, so I have no idea. So I'm gonna be deleting exception now, and cgn it into exclude title everywhere, because I use exception to mean exclude title, and it's a better wording. Yes, exclude title, and here, and here. Okay, that's the classes in U1 are okay. They are. Well, you have the triple dot, so I imagine that means they're like, well, shit. Yeah, I can imagine, because V1 is overall eh. Oh, well, I wouldn't even call V1 okay. It's just straight up bad. Better than Lua though. Lua I hate a lot more. Like, I despise Lua. And if somehow Cloaker appears on stream to say that, actually, it's you who are bad, he would be correct. The reason why I hate Lua so much is because it's so limited in terms of features. Features that are very useful in readability. So it's very annoying. Fuck yeah. So do I. Me and you together, hating Lua until the end of the earth. It's like, I understand that it's not really the use. The use for Lua is implementing it into some other program, and it's like lightweight and fast. Like, I get it, but I don't have to like it just because it has a different reason to exist. I can straight up just hate it still. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna continue is just find all the exceptions and change them to, yeah, and change them to exclude title, yes. So there is some way that we can do that with grep. Don't quite remember how. So I think instead of R, no, instead of basically if we put an L there, we get the file names. That's great. And we Xcode it. And I hope this works how I think it does. Well, oh, that's because color always, and it interprets those like, basically colors in the terminal are actually made via special characters, and now it's not recognized. What do you, oh, my bad. I thought that I was wrong on there, but turns out no. Why is this suddenly a very different character? Oh. Yesterday, I moved the status thing to the right because I was like, oh, it turns out it's actually working. No, No, turns out it isn't. I'm gonna have to move it back. I thought like it would be fine. It isn't. Okay, so now it works. And we can go through every exception and change it to exclude title. Seems pretty reasonable to me. So exclude title, and then I'll just have to hope that I don't miss anything. Exclude title. No wonder exclude title didn't work for a lot of times, and I couldn't understand why. Oh, I don't even use that or provide that. Fair enough. Discord. Huh? Oh, yeah. Exclude. UIA, I should probably not touch because it's not my exclude. There was supposed to be an exclude here. Oh, yeah. No, not exclude. Exception. Oh, I see. I changed everything here. So now, if I reload, yeah, I don't get any errors. Cool. Cool. Let's go back to, oh, we are in when. What was I changing though? Browser. Okay, browser. So now we have that exclude title, and in theory, oh, come on. Interesting. Now when I press Alt-C again, it doesn't enable the browser. It only recognizes this, while it's supposed to be the exclude title. Well, that's weird. So, app, we min max, yeah. If doesn't exist the win title, but not this, then we return false, in which case we just run act it. Could be the issue with run act. So run is okay, act. Or rather activate. When activate, okay, I see. This exclude title, and also this exclude title. I don't think this is gonna just fix it, but maybe it will. Let's hope. Yeah, what? It's strange because it's not really supposed to work. Okay, well, that's good to hear. So now I want to put this window into a hotkey, so I can press Alt-T to like go to chat rather than going to the browser window. And fuck yeah, it works. It works. Yeah, rather than going to the browser window, being on analytics and being like, oh my god, statistics, because they actually, like, I don't like looking at them. 2 of my recent videos are 10 out of 10. You'd think that's a good thing. No, it actually means 10th place out of 10 last videos. So yeah, that's why I wanted to have a separate chat, where I don't see how many people are watching me, only the chat itself. So I wonder, should I put the chat window to YouTube or to browser? Browser, I think. Yeah, browser. Okay. So static yeah, that was my entire reaction as well. Static chat when object is when. So when title is hold up. You know what? I should have a subclass for it. like in that case. Here, maybe? Yeah, okay, so class chat. Well, in this case, how about we just go to YouTube then? No, because it's not YouTube. All this semantics. So static, no, not static, class chat extends browser. So the path to this class is going to be browser chat. Cool, 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 cool. So class chat extends browser. Fair enough. Where do we go from here? We only need the win title. So static win title is, and then we and then we just take browser exclude title. So the exclude title of browser is the win title of chat. And then we append super exe title, meaning this. So yes, indeed, it's the browser window, but it has the win title of the exclude title. A bit confusing, I realize. Okay. Are there anything else that we actually need? We don't need the exe path, we will never run it. We will only min-max it. An exclude title, no, like the win title is very much enough. So static win object is win constructor, where win title is this, win title, no, yes. Oh, and that's literally the only thing that we need. That's almost strange. Okay, now we go to win, where I have my hotkeys here. I don't think this thing has ever worked. I won't try. I will delete it in a separate commit. You know what? Just so I know like the history of it. But for now, hotf when active browser chat when title. Then we have a different hotkey for Alt-T, which is going to be browser chat when object min-max. And then we close that hotf because I don't think we need it. So now when I press Alt-T, hopefully it doesn't open Telegram. I think it, yeah. Why? Probably because the win title is incorrect, and probably is. Okay. Just gonna make sure it doesn't do shit. I'll kill the process. Where is it? One time I just clicked on here instead of, I guess, name. Yeah, here we go. Fuck you, Telegram. I don't need you. Okay. The win title is incorrect, and I think I understand why, because I don't put a space there. So let's do exactly that. And now, really? That's just straight. No, hold up. So I pressed Alt-T and it minimized it, but it's not activating it. That's even more confusing. Oh! Fucking win active. Win exist! Win exist, my bad. So now it should work. Cool! I can now pop up chat very easily. Okay. And having this hotkey is now safe, but first I have to go to mouse, app actions, and then bottom right. So case, actually, I'll convert them to lowercase. Same as this. So case, sections, bottom right, and oh wow, that ligature is kind of cool. Huh. Okay, so usually if I click the hotkey on my mouse in this place, Telegram will be enabled or ran or whatever else. But if the chat window exists, then it will enable that instead, because I never want to open Telegram on stream. So when exist browser, once I spell it, browser chat when title, then we browser chat when object min max. Cool. Oh, that's so much better. Aww. I'm somewhat self-conscious about that, so seeing that is very nice to hear. Sections enum. Oh, by that you mean enumerations? Yeah, I agree. Very, very useful. It's actually one of the first things, like one of the oldest things that I've implemented. And sections, basically I just take the screen coordinates of my cursor, split the screen into sections, and they're not very good because they are not relative. And technically I should change that fact to them being relative, but they have worked and I haven't bothered. So it returns the sections whether they are true or false. And then I go through all the sections, and here I go. So if I press it on the top, you can see that up is the browser, and here it is. If I press it down here, since chat exists, it will do chat, which is so nice. It can easily be done to work for any screen resolution. I just haven't bothered. The way you really should be doing that is by taking a screen width and a screen height and dividing it. But I wrote it so long ago that I used to not do it like that. Now I do. Cool. So now I have this thing. Oh, that's so nice. That's so much better. And now I don't see how many viewers I have. I'll even close the chat on my phone. Do not see it there. Brilliant. Now I'm like blissfully ignorant. I've heard from other streamers making them work for like different screen resolutions. Yeah, I used to like not care, but then I started to. pretty much. So now anytime I need coordinates, pretty much always I make them relative. So even if they are not specifically correct on other screens, they will at least work, more or less as expected. Okay, I should stop putting as much weight on my voice so I can actually stream for longer. I make this mistake every time and then suffer for it, where I stream, say, 3 hours, and then my voice is fucked even though I want to stream even more. So let's go back and commit this, or gamp it. So now excludes title instead, or rather exception. Even worse half the time when you move the mouse with multiple monitors on V1. Huh. Yeah, fuck. I imagine I only have one monitor, as you can see, because I don't have chat on a separate like monitor or anything. But god, that's probably so annoying to work with. So it just doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. Exception into exclude title, and then chat on Alt-T. By the way, I figured out how to use the pop filter correctly, which you might have noticed in yesterday's stream. Basically, you don't hear as many mouth sounds, so it's not like bad ASMR, because the pop filter now is actually the correct distance from the microphone, and overall the microphone is more far away from my mouth, so it should be better. You have to DLL call the Windows function for moving the mouse to get around. Fuck. Jesus, that sounds annoying. You know what? I would just quit. I would just say, nah. I have to like give credit to you. Everyone watching, Mood is a crazy person. He reminds me of myself around a year ago, a bit not as long ago probably. Yeah, somewhere of that time, because he keeps on making the craziest shit and does it so well. So, you know my runner, right? The thing that I can't shut the fuck up about. Very simple, it's just an input box pretty much that takes your input and so on. Well, the dude re-implemented it, has syntax highlighting pretty much, or suggestion highlighting, because yes, he has suggestions. They're colored differently depending on how many match. There's also a number that shows you suggestions, a thing that shows you all the different suggestions, hotkeys to move between those suggestions. Oh my god. It's like, it's straight up just so much better. Actually, you should. For most things, you should make abstractions. If we go to text, I make abstractions for something as simple as write file. Not because, like, I don't know how to do this, but because this is more imperative, while this is more declarative. What I'm trying to do is write to a file. I should use a function that says something like write file instead of so. To write to a file, I need to open the file and then write to it. We don't need that implementation details. So it's actually a good idea that you alias it. Looking your channel, I think it's so nice. I'm pissed off that people like you don't have high following. Thank you. I'm gonna be glad to see you back. I stream from time to time. and always on YouTube, for better or worse. Okay. Okay, so chat now works. What was I? Okay, so YouTube chat is Telegram, kinda. Did that. VS Code control. Okay, well, let me do something and come back in just a second. There is a wound in my mouth. Not sure why. So it's hard to speak, but I want to stream so badly. Is a function at least in V2? Maybe it isn't in V1. Okay. Or maybe file open isn't even a thing in V1. I don't know. I was a much worse programmer when I was using V1. Okay, so Control M toggles mentions. Very simple idea with a very simple solution, which I'm not gonna overcomplicate because I'm not even sure if I need this yet. Like, I don't need it so much to a point to make a good solution, so I'm just gonna control click it. Oh, really? Huh. The more you know, I guess. So let's go to something like bot spam. By the way, if you guys don't know, anytime that I make a thumbnail, I pick the emojis that I use in bot spam. So if I post emojis, I'm either streaming like right now or like scheduling a video. So let's try to reply. Well, let's try to reply to a person. The solution is very simple. I take coordinates, control click format, go to Discord, and implement a static method that just clicks on them. Toggle mentions. Control click. Oh, and actually, we need to make the hotkey. And it's going to be Control M, Discord, toggle mentions. Yeah, simple enough. Good, I don't need Discord anymore. Another thing done. Implement hotkey to toggle mentions. So think about maybe moving more things into the right prompt. And what do we get for it? Things not working sometimes. No, I'm gonna go back and move status where it was before. So it was before get. Private mode is fine being on the right side, but everything else pretty much just isn't. Okay. So no, I'm not going to. Connecting thing for two-line prompt. Yes, I wanted to search for symbols that I could use instead of these arrows. Maybe like some type of block here, here, and here, and this being the only arrow. That was my idea. But the other thing I wanted to do, I guess, even more so, ooh, this is a good one. But I think I want to do this first. So to move to different views on VS Code, my hotkey is Control semicolon and then some letter like Y would move me to extensions. Pretty good because it doesn't occupy the hotkey space as much, but it's pretty stupid because Control and numbers do nothing. If we open my key bindings and try to search for Control plus digit, disabled, 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 and so on. Basically, Control numbers don't do anything for me. So, why am I not using them to focus different things? Pretty ridiculous, I think. So, let's open not settings but key bindings. Key bindings. Wait, what? Okay, let's search for Control plus this. And what do we have here? Run script. I do use it sometimes. And this, and this. However, maybe moving it somewhere else? I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so Explorer, focus on folders view. I'm gonna go through each thing that I already set to something else and change it to something different. Okay, so focus on folders view. I feel like Control 1 for I think this. Yeah, Control 1 makes a lot of sense to me. So let's change it to Control 1. Copy name, copy path, copy relative path, and then, yeah, markdown open preview. Interesting. Could potentially also be moved to control numbers, but maybe not. It's not really the same idea. Notifications. First of all, what about the terminal? So yeah, terminal focus, that will be on control backtick. 2. So I still agree having this for the toggle of the overall sidebar and having Alt-I for the overall toggle of the bottom thing, whatever it is. So from Control 1, we're now free for anything, really. Okay. Focus notification toast. Notifications feel like a Control 7. I don't have a good reason for that. Output view is a very Control 80 kind of thing. Focus hover. Now it's not really a window, to be fair. But maybe Control 4. Yeah, Control 4. Create new terminal and do the same thing in editor area. So I don't even use the terminal in VS Code ever. I try to remember to use it at least sometimes, but using the actual terminal is just nicer to me for some reason. Did I move the errors? I did. So now they actually are displayed correctly. Ridiculous. Fish shell is strange sometimes. Okay, focus hover. Oh, that's in the terminal. I guess I can also Control 4 that. and just hope it works. Create new terminal. Kill the yes. You literally never use the VS Code terminal as well. Yeah, like, it's good. In some places, it's even better than terminal emulators. But for me, just having a separate window is so much nicer than having a sub window. So I can relate, especially considering that I have a very useful hotkey to activate the Windows terminal. So like, whatever. Now, kill the active terminal instance. I wonder, that should actually be Alt W. Yeah. I'll come back to that after I actually change the more important things. I can even move it. Interesting. Relaunch active terminal. Didn't know I could do that. Because here I can't. Like, that's not a thing. Relaunch. Yeah. And I so wish it would be, because it's so useful. Okay. Close editors. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, I tried to center my screen. When it doesn't work, this, like, in this place. Okay, Control 6 is not taken up, and I think Control 6 is very valid. Join all editor groups. I use Control Alt Q, I think, to join to the next. But Control semicolon G will join all of them. So I think I'm okay with that. Pin and editor I'm very much okay with. Show extensions. It's a very Control 5 feeling kind of thing. I love this. Like, this configuration doesn't have too much thought into it. It's more like following your heart. You just feel what it is. Testing is a Control 3 probably. It's weird that there's no toggle pin editor command and only separate ones. Show in browser. Oh, wow. Cool. Wow. Check task list. No, don't care. And focus quick open. Huh. So if I like do this and then I'm somewhere else. Hold up, let's yeah, search for something. Go back to the editor. And that reminds me that I should have Control something to focus the editor. I have no idea where you're getting these numbers from, but alright. It's just straight up just feeling. Like, oh, the idea of the timeline view feels like Control 6. Testing, yeah, that's a 3. It's like looking at numbers and you see them in different colors. Actually, fuck, that makes me remember. I remember at school, we had a thing where we were tested. Basically, we were given numbers and colors. We needed to basically color those numbers in how we felt. Like, and I just realized that shit's whack. Like, are you sure that's proper psychology? I have a hard time believing that it's like actually valid. But to be fair, some methods of psychology that I use to understand life is also pretty ridiculous, so fair enough. Where was I? Yeah, focus, quick, open. Now, control 2 is not occupied. 2 is. 3, yes. 4, yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So only the second one is not occupied. And I think it should be focus editor. Related, unrelated note, I literally can't visualize. So, oh, you're one of the people who can't. I've heard about this. It's like pretty rare that some people just can't visualize things. That's interesting. I don't remember what the like thing is called, but wow. I think I can visualize pretty well. Not amazingly, but I can draw ideas, I guess, in my head. God, I love vaping. Ah, fuck, it's so good. And you know what? I also bought coffee. Like, I mean, I'll say really good coffee, but when you look at what I actually bought, you'd be like, oh, come on. But I'm also poor, so for me, it's very good coffee. And I was so excited about being able to drink better coffee. Fuck yeah. I didn't even realize that until like a couple years ago, since I just thought that's how it'd be. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes for everyone. For me, I can draw the parallel with being trans, where a bunch of like things I thought were just the way they are until I realized that it was just a huge egg. Because some things are just not really talked about, usually because you think, oh, if it's like that for me, that means it's like that for everyone. And then you realize that that's not the case. Oh, obviously everyone hates eggplants. Wait, you like them? What? That's me. Interactive editor focus input. What the fuck is an interactive editor? Okay, so what I'm looking for is focus editor. Focus current editor group. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Focus, I can't see it. Active editor group. Yes. And that should be control 2. Now, should I control 9 to focus quick open? I think so, because right now, control 9 toggles breakpoint. I don't remember the last time I actually needed it. And if I do, the better way to do it would be making a NeoVim remap instead of a hotkey, I think. But maybe not. Regardless, I don't really care about it. So, quick open. You know what I can do? I can move the chat like here and then hold up, like this, and then 9 turns out. Oh, well, I guess no, I'm gonna make it a bit smaller, move it, Cool. Focus this on like this. Full width, but not quite full. Oh, that moves the window. What I'm looking for is Control S. Cool. So now I can read chat. Like, it was on my phone, but still I realized that I look at the fucking number of viewers and like, eh. And for some things, I could just leave it like this. Yeah, fair enough. It's kind of like Hassan. He has his chat in a very similar way. And maybe I should just get used to doing the same thing. Control S twice, thrice. I remember when I figured out that thrice is an actual thing. I got flabbergasted. I got straight flabbergasted at that information. Oh, and chat, I will make... wait. How do I make something... Oh, I think Control... Or rather, Alt-D... 1? Yeah, so now it's always on top, even if I... No, it's not. How do I make something always on top? It's an Explorer, SCR. Oh, a completely different thing turns out. Alt-D, 3. So now this is always going to be on top no matter what, and I have to deal with the window so I can see chat. Doesn't sound too bad. Okay. Where was I? I forget. Right. So, quick open. That will be Control 9. And if I do this and then press Control 2, I can go back with Control 9. But you know what's interesting? It doesn't focus the input box, it focuses this thing. So now if I do J and K, it moves me instead of typing. I find that very weird, but fair enough. Good enough. Okay. Control backtick to open the terminal is much better. What doesn't help me though is the fact that fish loads up in a very slow way. What happens if I Alt W? Alt W still closes the tab. Okay. Alt W, close editor. Interesting. Close editor if not in terminal focus. Otherwise, kill the active terminal in editor. Kill terminal. Kill the active. Yeah, that's in editor. Kill the active terminal instance. I'll just change it to Alt W. No. And terminal focus. There's even kill all terminals, which is pretty cool. Kill instance. What's the difference between this and this? I don't know. I feel like I'm never going to use the in editor, but I don't think it's gonna do me any harm. So Alt W still closes that, but the terminal is active. No, hold up. Alt W. Kill the active terminal instance, and active panel is terminal. Okay, what if I remove this? The terminal instance is basically a tab of the terminal. Oh, yeah, you're so right. Yeah, I guess the difference is if you have panels. No, I actually do, somewhat, because this is like a panel, this is another panel, and all of this is a single tab, and I guess that's the difference. Okay. So, like, please work? Pff, I don't get it. I think I do, actually. Terminal. Basically, sometimes you need to implement commands that are accepted while in the terminal. Open editor at index 2. I don't think that's needed. Let's go back. Yeah, I don't think this is needed actually. So, kill the active terminal in editor. No. Yeah, the Windows 11 terminal is slightly different. Allowing you to open up different terminals though. No, hold up. That's exactly the case here as well. You can... Well, that's a bit of a different thing, I guess. Yeah, that's the same thing in Windows 10. So, how would I do this? Open tab. Okay. Yes, new tab drop down. So you can open CMD, PowerShell, Linux, and other things potentially if you want to, but I don't, so that's why I don't have them. Pretty sure there's extensions on VS Code to have like a Python terminal. Yeah, probably. Never really needed one. Okay. Let's change this. And okay, active panel is terminal and panel focus. It's great, honestly, the implementation of this. Hate Python. Fuck yeah! Oh my god, you're literally me. I hate Python, and I don't even have a good reason for it. I just don't vibe with it. It has a lot of stuff that I look at and I'm like, why? Why are you simplifying something that's already simple and everyone is used to? By simplifying it that way, you're pretty much making it more difficult. And I find it very annoying. Maybe I'm an elitist or something, and probably I am. But still, Alt W doesn't work, but will work soon. Kill the active terminal instance. So now in theory it should work as expected. Please do. Why? Why? What? That's so crazy. What if I delete this? Like, I don't need it regardless. Like, it closes the editor if not terminal focus. But actually, no. Terminal focus. Like, right now, I'm in the fucking terminal. You should close that. Interesting. So it was the other command that I was executing first. The more you know. Okay. So now, like, I have the terminal and can use it anytime that I want, in case that I do. There has been some new developments for Python I've heard though. A new language dialect of Python kind. Yes, I've heard about Mojo as well. There was this like recommendation by Fireship. Still haven't watched the video though, because I don't really care about Python to begin with. Made by the same person who made Go, which is like a billion times faster with the easy syntax. Faster and overall better too. Still hate it. Same. I haven't even watched the video, but I feel like I'm gonna hate it. And what use do I have for a language that's a Python derivative and isn't going to give me a job? Python, at the very least, is lucrative. Mojo isn't going to be until much later. So I have two reasons to not care about the language. When at least with Rust, it's a good language. Sure, I can't find a job with it, but at least it's a good language. Well, by the same account, HK is not a good language and I can't find a job with it. Why am I so obsessed about it? Fair enough. There is one use. AI. Oh yeah. I don't fuck around with that though. There is a lot of uses for Python. I know about this. I just don't like it. Yeah. Okay. So VS Code control numbers is different views. Let's go to .files and GAMP this. Control numbers, activate views. 100%, 150% of AI is written in Python. Yeah, I've heard about that. And a lot of terminal clients, CLIs, are written in Python as well. Termdown, that I use really often, as a clock, for example, it's written in Python, which I don't particularly like, but it's an amazing program, so that's okay, I guess. Cool. And now I can just press this to open the terminal in case I want to, and then remove something and just close it. Pretty cool. But on the other hand, I could hold up. Imagine I was cool. Imagine. Like, okay, I go to here, registers, and then it will be faster after I implement one other thing. And I'm like, do this, and then I don't even have to exit, and maybe I'll, The difference, I guess, so the only CLIs I accept is PS or Bash ones. PowerShell you probably mean, right? Well, yeah, obviously. I don't want to... Oh, do you mean like written in that? In which case I disagree. If something is like written in Rust or other good language and it's a CLI, obviously, yeah, fuck yeah. I bought a lot of sweets and I love that. I just straight up love that. Okay, so what's my argument? essentially here I have to spend time waiting for the shell to exist. And the only reason I would want to use a terminal in VS Code is because it automatically understands where. So if I'm in this test directory, I will start in that directory. That's the only reason why it's better at all. Oh well, I'm more saying I just don't like the slow Python ones. Yeah, that's fair. Thing is, for most applications going from the word apply rather than app, for all intents and purposes, Python is usually very much fast enough. I just don't like Python for the vibe, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so that's the cool part of the VS Code terminal. The fact that it opens in the directory that you actually want. And then you can do some command, easy. And here you go. But if you need to change directory to something else, well, you go back to just doing it the usual way that you do it. In which case, it would be faster for me to open a terminal that's already loaded in and just change the directory rather than wait for it. Like, I would rather do an action, even if it takes the same time as just waiting. I'd rather do something than wait. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I don't really like using the terminal. And there's an argument to be made that, oh, just keep it perma-opened. Or rather, just hide it instead of closing it. And then you can go back to do something again. I mean, fair, but I could also just press Alt-R, and here I am with the same thing, but I have the full terminal. Yeah, it's useless. Like, maybe you don't have a good enough terminal emulator set up from some other place, like Windows Terminal, for example. Maybe you don't, and in that case, yeah, having a terminal in VS Code is great, because you don't really have to set things up as much. It's already reasonable there. But I do have a good setup, so I can't find the use. Okay, let's move on to another thing. Let's go to functions. So, right now, if I press Ctrl G, I get to pick a directory. Say I type in lib, pick this, it is now pasted into my command buffer, and I need to press enter again to move there. What I want to do is that if I'm in normal mode, Ctrl G will straight up cd me into that directory. I've seen people try to use NeoVim in the VS Code terminal for the group, and that's so hilarious. It's like the biggest middle finger to NeoVim, because that's so ridiculous. Like, you might as well just have the NeoVim extension then for VS Code. You are already using VS Code. Use it then. First of all, let's go to config.fish, character icon, for default change inside. So this for normal, and this for no, this. Visual will be pretty much the same as normal, but not quite. That's the only shell session, you say, huh? Okay, let's enter and see what's up. I use the VS Code terminal for long-running commands like npm run def or whatever. I see. Fair enough. What I usually do is I just run the commands in the like static, I guess, terminal. And if I need to run commands while it's executing, I just create a new terminal here, like a new panel, continue on. Then after it's done, I'm back. Which, yeah, I realize it at the very least sounds more complicated, but feels pretty like natural to me. But that does sound like a good use case. By the way, I'm really happy to see you. Okay, what was I on? Right. Jesus, it takes a long time. Wow. Damn. Well, you can create multiple terminals in VS Code too. Yes, that's true. Same, actually. It's like watching Hassan. So, you're right, but the whole thing of the terminal in VS Code is that usually you will only see it like this, like not the full screen. It's true that you can make it full screen, but usually you won't, right? So here making new panels will make your terminal extremely small, where it's not comfortable. When in a full screen terminal emulator, I feel like that's more viable. Even though, yes, technically you can, I feel like in VS Code, you're less likely to want to do that. Fair enough? Fastest terminal ever. You mean like on VS Code? Oh, for this, yeah, it's the issue of fish. On Z Shell, it's much faster. No, I don't mean make new panels, just make a new terminal tab. Oh, well, naturally, you can also do it in this, and I have them. It's just like my approach. I could either make a new panel or a new terminal tab. So I guess, like, yeah, fair enough. Don't really have a good argument against that. Interesting. There is an interesting case to be made. Basically, terminals that you create in VS Code, like you're doing, the idea behind that is those terminals will continue existing until you kill or reload VS Code. That is very like, you immediately set a kill condition. So say you open a project in a new VS Code window, you create a terminal that will essentially automatically close once you close the project. That is a very cool idea. Still very confused why Fish is so slow for you. Same. I think it tries to recalculate the get VCS when it changes these symbols. But the reason why I want them to be changed at all, even though my cursor changes, is because when I come back, I can see that no matter if my cursor is correct or not, because I change it here, for example, and come back, here I'm still in normal mode, and if my cursor didn't change to the correct one, I can still see the mode that I'm currently in, like, easily. Big explanation. what about R? Wow. But yeah, basically the thought process for this is knowing what mode I'm on or in when I switch to a different tab or panel. Like the cursor sometimes isn't updated correctly, but this thing would have. So it's like more consistent to know. Like here I can trust these symbols to mean that I'm in normal mode, because the however many seconds it takes have probably passed already. I hope like on a natural Linux system that fish is not going to be as slow. Just tried it and startup of fish with null config and Z-shell with null config is almost identical. Yeah, but I'm comparing a full setup Z-shell and a full setup fish. Both around 2 milliseconds for me. God damn, I want that too. Well, switch to Z-shell back again then if you want to, because Z-shell was very, very fast, even with the full config of a bunch of functions, configuration, power level 10K, instant. Fish, no. So I'm going to be calling that fish issue. Still going to continue using it because the configuration of fish is still on average much easier than on Z-shell, and it's much easier to implement new things than on Z-shell. I like the syntax far more. It's easier to understand. It wouldn't be a crazy idea to try out other shells as well, maybe like Dash. Omp? What is Omp? Load time on Discord. I'm gonna open Discord right now, sorry. Maybe send it here. Okay, so my idea, first of all, .files. If I'm in normal mode and I press Ctrl G, the directory that I pick, I will be CD'd into automatically. True, yeah. I'm going to, like, eventually, once I get a job and actually earn money to buy not a laptop, but an actual PC, that would be great. Oh, well, no. It would be crazy if you could, but no. The other thing that I don't like, on Z-shell, if you send a command while in normal mode, the prompt symbol will be auto-made into the insert mode one. On fish it still stays normal mode, even though that's not what I want. I have a lot of complaints about fish, don't I? Okay, let's get to it. Right, I wanted to commit. Let's gamp this. Prompt character changes on Vim mode. It is, though, like, hilariously slow. Takes about as much time as Git VCS, so I think that is the like main issue. But it's so useful that I'm not gonna consider removing it. I'm not about to run git status in every single directory every single time. Okay. So get important dir and get current dir. We'll make two new functions. Function get, oh, rather cd important directory, and then here we do the same thing. We just yank inside brackets but we cd, no, yeah, pretty much, func save cd important directory, and then a similar thing for current directory, cd current directory cd $6. Would you look at that? And that should be it. So we do func saves, and then in config.fish we call different ones depending. So Control G in default mode will be not get but cd, and same for current. So I go to fish, run my function script, and source config.fish, which by the way works. I have a Vim question. You just did y inside bracket for yank inside brackets, but how would I specify which kind of bracket? So lowercase b by default is these brackets, so parentheses. Capital B is curly brackets, and these you still have to specify with their own characters. You can also do that. And many people do because it makes more sense, I guess. But to me, B is easier to press than parenthesis, and capital B is easier to press than curly bracket. So that's why I use those. Okay, now I go to normal, Control G, lib, and I'm immediately there. No, wait. No, hold up. Yeah, I didn't even look at what commands I'm actually doing. Okay. dpick. Yeah, just dpick this without the smush. Now hold up. Yeah, good. dpick by default uses -m. What I want to do is put this -m flag depending on an argument that you pass into dpick. If you don't pass anything, it's there, but if you do pass something, no matter what, maybe you pass true or something, yeah, like if you pass any argument to dpick, wait, right, that won't work because argv is already into the list. Fuck. Maybe, how the fuck do I do it? Maybe we don't smush. Or just do something like this, maybe? Arg parse. Okay. Yeah, I should have fish arg parse. Parse options pass to a fish script or function. Pass argument that's define the known options. Wait, does this like mean essentially the ability to set options like all the built-in Linux commands have, or most Linux commands overall? Is that it? Is that the thing? If so, that's crazy. The docs might be overwhelming because, yeah, very powerful. If you still have my number.fish script flying around, you can use it as reference. I don't think I do. I never saved it anywhere. But I remember you sending it to me, so I'll just come look once I do. However, what I'm going to do is put it to links of docs fish arg parse. But for now, I'm just gonna do it this stupid way. Hold up. Like this, maybe? I want literal single, like, I want literal single quotes that get the output of this thing. I don't get it. Like, to make this work, I have to change them. No, not this. Jesus. I have to change them. Why yes? Oh, CS this to this. But then it's not what I actually want. And it doesn't display like it works either. Well, what if I do this and then this seems to work? Okay, so for now, if you accidentally choose multiple directories, that's a skill issue on your part. And I'm kind of the only one using it, and I'm not gonna do it. So solved. Just don't make a mistake. What I'm trying to do is basically, if I'm in insert mode in my terminal, Control G will insert the directories that I choose. But if I'm in normal mode, Control G will CD me into that directory instead of first putting that into my command buffer and then having to press enter again. So making it like be automatic. And this, I think, works how I think it does. So let's fix the other thing as well. First of all, remove smush. Here's just the argument handling part of the number base function. Thank you. Okay, arg parse. Name, number base. So that's the options you pass to arg parse. The definition of the character sets. Yeah. I see. Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't get it at all. So this is the things that you pass to arg parse specifically. What is this supposed to be? And then everything else. Oh, and you specify the arguments that you specify to this thing. Well, that's not a thing to do for today regardless. I might bug you a bit later though about this, because it sounds incredibly useful. Basically, arg parse just sets the variables flag input and flag output. Okay. Let's hope this works how I want it to. Wait, what? Lib. Okay. Demon. Will you work like this? I doubt it. I don't want to implement a fucking variable. I want to inline it. Why? Because I can do it in every other language pretty easily. But shells, for some reason, are incredibly annoying. Line 13 to 16 is one single line because of the backslashes. Yeah, backslashes I understood. I've seen that being done in Vim script, which is like goddamn, but yeah. Maybe a source just to be safe, I guess. Ah! How do I just... How do I specify a literal single quote and execute the command as well? Because if I put the single quote in opposing double quotes, it now has 3 fucking quotes, which is not what I asked it to do. Most definitely not. I hate shells. Now this is fair. That shit is done because of my mistake. Fair enough. That might be the case, actually. Could it be that deep? Yes, that's exactly what's happening. I just realized it because I was like, wait, why did it add single quotes? Like, out of where? Because it adds. So I should use dlist and just specify the no m flag to begin with. Let's just copy this to the A register so I remember. So yeah, basically my mistake, unsurprisingly. Oh, isn't? Sounded cool, sounded really cool. Okay. Put it here so I know whatever I'm doing. So, let's remove those for now. delist all of those into fzf no dash m yes tag yes cycle, not sure why, but we don't sed because we are happy. And turns out this worked. I was the dumb one. So this works now. And we do the same idea with these things. We, instead of dpick, we are more explicit with dlist. In the current directory, fzf no-m yes tag yes cycle. And that's actually, yeah, that should be it. Right? I didn't forget anything. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so should work now. I am in normal mode now. Lib. No, hold up. Strange. Why did it add both of them? Like, I imagine this to be the output, and on the left there's a single quote, and on the right there's a single quote. But that's not what's happening here. Okay, maybe a single directory thing. What do you mean unknown command? Oh. cd current directory. Does nothing. But doesn't give me an error though. What was the last command? I guess it wouldn't say what I just executed. Yeah. Damn, I'm confused. If that also adds quotes, I'm gonna be surprised how everything else worked previously. No, it doesn't. And I added sed specifically to account for that issue. So here it adds the quote at the start of the line and then at the end. Or I could, I don't want to like give up and do it in a more natural way where you just set a variable. That's lame. But it's also very strange. Okay. Let's see if it works at all to begin with. We don't need these. Set-l imp dir. I'm probably like use the sed that basically it added 2 for some reason, where it ended up being 3 of them. So maybe it's part of the issue. So let's try this out to see if it does anything. Huh? What? What? What the hell? Like, bro, you're supposed to execute it. the shells are so not obvious. It's crazy. In any other programming language, like, you have very obvious and easy tools to fuck around with. Yeah, like, but my point is, why does it assume that I want to execute that command right here to begin with? Instead of just, like, executing it into the variable rather than executing it, like, before. Like, this should be the default instead of me specifying brackets. Shells are not obvious. I'll die on this hill. Why? Straight up just why? Well, in that case, if it doesn't execute anything, why doesn't it assume that the thing to the right of it is the output of the command, unless it's in quotes or something? Basically, shell logic is so far away from programming logic that it's difficult to get into. As you can fucking see. Takes the variable contents and pipes it into FZF. The pip. Why should the set command execute any of its arguments? Good question. I don't fucking know. Set just takes any text. Working with shells makes me sad. Because regardless of my take on auto-executing, unless in quotes, why? Like, why? Why? So, reasonably, it basically, it puts the quotes before it gets the output, but it's literally not supposed to. So I'm like incredibly confused. Show the full output. I guess the way I do it is by hiding chat. It doesn't show me the full output. Maybe, yeah. You're right. You're right, and it's even more weird. Are you telling me I'm gonna blow up if this is the case? Hold up. Now it doesn't work. and it doesn't tell us anything. Wait, what? So it did update. We do lib. That's funny. So it moves us to the directory, but it doesn't update that it did. Okay, in this case, I'm officially super fucking angry. Why does блять! So sometimes it just takes account of whether you need to escape something or not, and sometimes it doesn't. Have your fucking guess. Play the lottery of using the shell. You want to write your function? Good luck, you need it. To give credit where it's due, it's still easier on fish than it would be on Z shell, and remember my experience with this entire shit. But god, it's so not obvious. Shells are not obvious. I'm gonna, like, save my nerves using fucking... Okay, I was gonna say V1, that's not true. I'd hate it more. Working in C# with all its like annoyances, it's still far more reasonable than shells that just have random fucking rules that go from 50 years ago that I have to somehow guess and just know straight up. I hate it. So basically, what it's saying is essentially, this is supposed to work. And if it does, I'm gonna act even crazy here. Yeah, it does. Jesus Christ. I despise that. I just straight up despise that. Fuck that shit. I think the function is redraw. Fish shell redraw. Obviously, sure. Now you just find a way to, yeah, I already know the way, thankfully. It's a function. I guess it's not called like that. Let's try to search for it for, like, in there. Redraw. Well, it's called something different. I used to have it as a hotkey, so we can actually just dot files. So it gets updated sometimes, but it's better to make it updates by itself. So let's glow dash, I don't remember, what was it? So file, git log a specific file, so use dash p. Okay, dash p and config, I think. What? The site things were slow due to it only auto. Yeah, exactly. Because every time you change something in your prompt, what actually happens is the entire prompt is echoed, pretty much, printf'd as output, and that gets redone. So to redraw your prompt, you have to get all the information that you need for your prompt. And with Git, it takes a lot of time to do that. So that's why it's so slow. Move private mode into right prompt and bold. probably did it a long time ago. Change shebang to work. I think I'm gonna have an easier time, just glow. What was the commit called, more or less? I don't remember. Okay, goodbye. Something redraw? No, I guess not. Implement hotkey to repaint. Right, because repaint is easier to remember than redraw. Makes sense. Good job. See, like I'm telling you. Shells are not obvious. See, I forgot it again. Repaint. Yeah. I know, right? Like, lol. Repaint. Redraw sounds so much more like expectable. I didn't like save that. Like, really, I can just Google for the correct thing and find it? Like, seriously? What age of internet are we in? Repaint, sure, fish shell. Just find the thing that I'm looking for. What's the difference? Oh, yeah. Also, don't fucking show my where I am. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm fucking looking for. Okay, so command line fish shell. So it's a flag inside of another command. Kinda wish it would just appear faster than me doing like going through hoops to find that information. Where is it? Repaint. So it's not there. I'll become a fucking demon. I'm gonna be a demon. Dash F. So repaint is a separate function because dash F in the command function means execute a function. Meaning repaint fish shell is a thing that should have docs on it. Maybe here. Repaint. Okay, fair enough. This is taking so much energy out of me. My fucking life force, I feel like. Command line dash F repaint. Rah, I hate everything. Lib. Okay, so now it repaints automatically. Let's do the same thing for the CD current directory, where turns out that is done automatically. Please guess. Exactly. It's like, you know those programming ASMR. Well, that's exactly the case. Like when you do actual like programming in a normal programming language, you're like, oh, ASMR. I'm listening to some music, chilling, doing like cool, nice stuff. With with shells, it's shell rage coding. I'm gonna rename the stream to exactly that. Wow, that's so stupid. The chat is popped out. Why are you taking up so much space? Hold up, let's actually try this out. So this element, and I should have element style hidden, like everything pretty much. Visibility hidden, yes. Cool. I guess. What else can I change? I guess I don't know CSS well enough to fix that for myself. Okay, I'm gonna rename the stream to Shell Rage Coding. Cool. Because a literal very important thing you can't just search for and find a good explanation of. Only sometimes you'll see that, oh, you're supposed to use it with this. Never to explain like that thing. God, I hate this shit. Repaint. Why am I I'm reloading my HK script by habit. So now when I want to change a directory, I press escape and then like go where I want, and I'm there, which is pretty cool. And I stay in the same Vim mode, by the way. At least Batch has user-made docs. Maybe Fish does as well, but they're not as Googleable, I guess. The amazing thing about Z Shell, and why I would actually still recommend it over Fish to new users, is that whatever you search for, you just see the explanation, solution, everything, just immediately. With Fish, you have to fuck a wall to get that. Like with Fish, or rather with Z Shell, you don't even attempt doing anything because it's ridiculous. And I would argue that's better than thinking that it's easy and figuring out that it isn't. With Z Shell, you didn't even try because it's so ridiculous. And if you try, it's probably because there is already a solution for you. So what I also want to do is change the Vim mode to insert. Specify a bind mode that the bind is used in. That's for bind. What about command line? Cursor. Ooh, I know. So that should actually be done in the hotkey. So cd, after that, we specify -m, insert, I'm pretty sure. Specify a bind mode that it's used in, and then new mode, change after, yeah. I'm gonna show what that actually does, because it's going to be more visible, I guess. Okay, let's run functions again. So currently I'm in normal mode. Once it catches up to that, cool, I can press Ctrl G, type in the directory that I want. It changes And I was supposed to be... Oh, I forgot to source the actual config. My bad. And once it loads, okay, let's try this again. I try to go to dot files from being in normal mode. I go there, and my Vim mode is now insert again. And now, finally, I don't have to press enter twice to go to a directory. And same thing applies to this. Fuck, that is better, to be fair. And now I can go to a different thing. I find it interesting. So here I know that I am in insert mode, or at least I would if I updated the shell. Let's do that. Yeah, like, let's update everything pretty much to the latest version of my config. That's a strange cutoff, but sure. And interesting. Let's have the tabs for now. Let's do fish, and then Control L. So I put normal there, and here I know for a fact that I'm in normal mode. And even after I come back, I'm still in normal mode, and here as well. Sometimes the cursor, like here for example. Oh, wait, what? It moved me to normal mode. Interesting. Maybe I can indeed trust the cursor on what mode I'm in, and I'm just like underestimating its power. Well, first of all, let's go to main to dot files. We're here already. Now let's gamp it. What did I do? Yes. So now, normal mode, Control F, Control S, slash, Control G, CD to dirs immediately. And let's see if I can actually trust. No. Yeah. I might be crazy on thinking that I can't trust the cursor shape, because it seems like I can. It updates very well. Okay, where am I? The cursor is saying to me that it's normal mode, but it doesn't update, so it means I'm in normal mode. I am in normal mode. Either it auto-updated, or trusting the cursor still is the best way. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the icons as they were before until I realize for sure that I can't trust the cursor shape, and I should be using different ones for different modes. Fair enough. Go back to the same cursor, prompt character in all modes. yeah. Okay, I'm ending stream. I wanna eat to eat off my anger, I guess. How do you... Well, I removed the ninja, so yeah. Goodbye, everyone. I had some fun and then I got angry. Which, to be fair, is angry by itself. Hope you had fun too. Goodbye. I hope you aren't as angry with your shell. I agree. That was interesting.